Good morning, everybody. A little tired this morning. Didn't do the gym this morning, so I'm just kind of getting up and starting my day with a shave. So I might be a little lower key. Drop my towel. But let's get into what I'm using real quick, and then we'll start. I'm using Shannon Soap Woodland. Came in this little package here. It's been blooming, but it's a really soft soap, almost like it needs to dry out a little bit. So I just quickly let it bloom just to smell it, and it smells exactly like I'm smelling a one of those wooden planks you'd hang in your maybe in your closet for, was it the moths or whatever, or like a fresh cut piece of wood. So yeah, it just has that perfect little wood scent. I'm going to use my Nathan Clark 24mm high mountain white. And a last second change to the shave, I'm using my 26 Tuckaway. A gentleman looked at one of my older videos and mentioned it, and wanted to use it again. It's loaded with a Voskhod blade, first time with it. With that blade, I've obviously used the blade before. And then my last Madame Scodioli, the Laudanum, and it's tobacco and black tea. Let's go ahead and start loading the brush. I don't really have a clear thought today. There's two different things I've read this morning to start my day that kind of got me thinking, but I don't really have a clear thought, so I'll just throw out there for you guys to look at. Look at the parable of the sheep, or the lost sheep. Context, it's kind of talking about Jesus was asked like who is the greatest in the kingdom, and he's talking about the children and how if we can't be like them, just kind of using that as an analogy. And then he talks about the lost sheep, and wouldn't the farmer or the shepherd go look for the one lost sheep out of 99? And just use that. So I can't really talk too much about it. I just don't have my brain with me today. But just look at that as if a brother or sister in Christ that you know is lost, fallen out, somebody that you know is committed to the Lord, try to bring them back in, because God will rejoice about one being brought back. He's got the 99. And that's awesome. But that's another one saved. So just think of that. And then this thing loaded. I'm just trying to load the brush, but I loaded really quick. Nice. Rub my face. The other thing was in it was Exodus 18. Jethro, Moses' father-in-law, is giving him some advice, and that was that he needs to get some help, because at that time Moses was doing all the counseling, deciding everything for the group. He was basically, the leader by himself. Yeah, he had his brother Aaron, but he was just very much by himself. In that sense, where any dispute that was his to solve and all that. And so Jethro just mentioned that, you should find the people you trust and that won't take bribes, and have them help you and let them deal with the small stuff. If there's any big things, they bring it to you. That way you can, you can work through it. And I've read that passage before. Really didn't mean much to me before. But now I see it, because obviously I'm more involved with the church I'm in now than I have been in churches in a while. But also I see that we have so many different pastors and associate pastors at my church. And for those that haven't watched, there's a series called 5 Guys in the Bible. Todd Bryant and a couple other gentlemen are on it. They just did one on deacons, and they mentioned associate pastors in there as well. So let's go ahead and start shaving. And I look at my associate pastors at my church, and they alleviate a lot of the stuff from the main pastor, from Pastor Robert, which allows him to focus on the message and that. And they're not deacons, they're pastors. They're all, that's their title. That's exactly what they do. They have their ministries. But it's just nice that so to me it's just interesting I can relate it to my church a little bit in that sense that these other pastors do a lot of counseling, do a lot of the ministries, that kind of stuff, allowing the head pastor to focus on the mission at hand. But each one of those people plays a role to either continuing to bring people to God, or also to keep helping to feed the flock. I almost used my Edwin Jaeger 89 today. It was actually soaking in the water in my mug that I use. My little, got this free at Tohono O'odham, one of the reservation police mugs they gave when I was separating from the military. Or separated from active duty. I went to a job fair and they were giving those out. Yeah, my 89 was sitting in there and just decided to change. First pass went pretty good. Realizing it's probably the first time I've used a Voskhod, I believe, since I got the Repair Platinum Luxes. So I'm kind of in my mind doing a comparison right now. But also trying to remember how the different blades feel in different razors. It wasn't as smooth as I remember, but maybe it's because to me the Repair have been really, really smooth. But the shave felt smooth, so I'm not saying that's about the soap. I think it's the blade, because down in this area, I had more resistance than I normally would, and the soap felt slick up top. So it's not a soap issue. It's just the grain on my neck is really goofy, like a lot of us. Pretty slick. Definitely not the slickest I've used, but good. Yeah, it's definitely glides. The gentleman that recommended these soaps was just talking about how their performance he felt was comparable to, what was Mickey's or something like that. I think that was the one. But I've never used that soap, so I can't really compare. What I can say is I'm liking this scent. It's understated. By that I mean it's not an overly strong scent. I pick it up though the entire time I'm shaving. I get that said that plank of wood smell, I guess I'll call it. Refresh my water in my bowl. Which is nice, but it's not strong. I'd call it a light scent. So performance, good. It's definitely not something that you would you should run away from performance-wise. It lathered really nice. But I think like most samples, I probably underloaded because I'm not finding a strong third pass there, but it's a ½ ounce sample in a small little bowl. See, there's still some in the knot, but it probably because it loaded so quickly, or it started building a lather so quickly, I probably just cut it short. Because last night I did a quick bowl lather, and there was plenty in the knot, but I only did one pass, you know, put it in my hand. So I don't always judge the third pass by a sample like that, because it's really hard to get a full load. This is, like I said, very nice scent. Even with that being a weak lather, that last pass just not having enough, I don't think. It's still very, very, you know, very slick, very comforting. I didn't feel any tugging, pulling. If you're somebody who likes that smell of that pure wood smell like that, like a plank of wood, this is it for you. I like it. It's not a soap though that, or at least scent, that I feel will stay in my den. Just 'cause I don't think I'd use it enough. I like it, but it's not a scent that I feel myself craving. Let's see where I'm at here real quick. Chin a little bit. To me, a mark of a good soap right here. All I did was wet myself down, and I can still shave with it a little bit. So to me, that's a big plus on the lather. I'll go ahead and cold water rinse. Or on the performance, I should say, not the lather itself. Overall, it's a good soap. I felt it was nice. Like I said, scent wasn't for me long term. It was good for this shade, but it's not one I'm going to reach for frequently. Madame Scodioli, the Laudanum, tobacco and black tea. This one was kind of by default because it was the last one I had to try, and I said I was going to use them straight through. The next time I use this, I'll probably put it with one of my tobacco products. I had originally planned on using the Phoenix black tea, but when these soap samples arrived last night, I called an audible because I was asked to look at these products and these soaps and or what my opinion was on it, and I figured, hey, I got them in, let me get back to the gentleman right away. I'd used the other stuff before. Once again, performance of this aftershave is good. iPad beeping over there. It's definitely a different black tea and tobacco scent versus the Phoenix. It's a little sweeter. Nice though. I hate that word nice because I use it a lot, but no, it's an inviting scent. There's something I can compare it to something. I just can't pick it out. It's almost like it has a spice to it, instead of just being like a pure plain black tea. Like it's almost got like a peppery. Might be like a peppery and some kind of a spice to it on top of it. So very nice. Just not the same as the black tea. I think they go well together. It'll be interesting to try them together here next week or two possibly. But good shave. Shannon Soaps performed really well, I thought. Like I said, the scent was different. I still have 5 other ones to try. I look forward to trying those. I might continue that through the rotation. I might break them up. I don't know how I'll do that exactly. Probably break them up. Let them dry a little bit more to see their performances. The soap is just really, really soft. I want to let it harden a little bit so it doesn't break down when I load it. But that's all I got. Everybody, God bless. Take care of each other. And if you see somebody falling away, if you see that sheep that's kind of going off, help God out. Search for those people. Help them, bring them back to the flock. God bless everyone.